Hi guys, Marilyn here. Now I'm just stopping in for a second before I start the video to show you what I made on today's video. With school starting here in less than 3 weeks, we know football is going to follow right after that. So if you're planning on making a shirt for yourself, a friend, or some to sell, I hope today's video can be a motivation or an inspiration to you. Now I do all things crafty, but on tonight's video, I'm going to make a football shirt that I've been working on. So I started working on a design for this shirt because football season is right around the corner. Now I plan to make a few different colors in this, but for tonight's video, I'm going to kind of go with a monotone theme. So I'm using a gray shirt that I got at the Dollar General. I'm going to use these black diamond rhinestones, and I got those from the baby's booty. Then I've already cut this, but this is a Caesar patterned HTV. And it has the look of football texture or football leather texture. And then I'm also going to use some glitter HTV, and this is part of a pack that I got from Mary Maid. And in this pack, I got a Teflon sheet, a cutting mat for my Cricut, and a bunch of these pieces of glitter HTV in various colors. So I am trying 3 new products tonight. I've never used the black diamond, I've never used this Caesar pattern HTV, and I've never used the Mary Maid glitter HTV. So hopefully this turns out okay. So here's what I'm going to do on the video. I'm going to get on the computer and cut out the word Trojan from this glitter HTV. You see I've already cut that. I'm going to brush these rhinestones in, then we're going to press all of this onto this shirt. Now, since I already have everything set up here, I might as well start with the rhinestones. Now, typically, people use a rhinestone flock for their templates. But when I'm starting out and I'm just trying out a design, or maybe it's something I'm just going to use once, I use glitter cardstock. Now, you have to tape it down or something so the rhinestones don't sneak under. All right, so I'm just going to dump these on. And then I have this little paint trim brush, start going in circular motions. And I have way too many stones on there, but that's okay. You're never going to guess perfectly anyway. You're going to have to put some back in your case. So it's really not a big deal. But you can see with this glitter cardstock, those brush in pretty well. Now for this shirt, I plan to offer it with a G inside the football, which is just kind of the generic design, or I'm going to offer it with numbers. So if it's a parent that's buying this, they may put their son's football number in. So it's a little bit customizable, and then again I plan to offer it in about 3 different colors. Alright, those brushed in nicely. I do see I have a couple of extra stones I need to pick up. And then because my glitter cardstock is very similar to the color of my stones, it is a little bit hard to see. So just take your time, check it out carefully before you move on. Okay, I think I'm good there, so I'm just going to brush these out of the way for now. And then I have this really small piece of transfer tape. So this hotfix transfer tape can be used more than one time. This has been used already. You can use it until it's no longer sticky enough to pick up your stones. So I'm just going to place it down, kind of round it up like a taco. Once I start going down onto the stones with it, I just need to commit. Then for this, I'm just going to rub it with my hands, making sure that the stones are making contact with the hotfix tape. And then I'm just going to lift it right up. Now, if a stone doesn't lift up, you can put your tape back down, push on it, lift it up again, and see if it's stuck. So that worked out great. For now, just set that to the side. We'll move over to the computer and we'll work on the glitter HTV part of this design. So I made the rhinestone templates, the number 2 and the G in Silhouette Business Edition. Then I brought it over into Inkscape and I finished my design here. Now I like to design almost everything in Inkscape. Rarely do I design in Cricut Design Space because I like to save my designs as SVGs, and you're not able to do that in Cricut Design Space. So here's what I'm cutting right now, and it's that word Trojan. Since I'm doing it on HTV, I need to flip that. So I need to flip it horizontally because you cut most HTVs in the mirrored image. And this HTV is no different. So here's what I have. I'm going to say make it. And I'm going to move it over just a little bit because I did a test cut and my test cut was right up here. So I want to move this over to the right side. Then I'll say continue. And with this Mary Made Glitter HTV, this Everyday Iron-On setting worked great. It's just letting me know I need to make sure the mirror is on. Well, I mirrored it on the screen, so I don't have to worry about changing that here. And then they want to make sure that the shiny side is down. So the shiny side is your carrier sheet, and that's what goes down on the cutting mat. So at this point, I'm ready to go ahead and cut this. All right, so I like to turn my mat over and remove it from what I'm working on. And then, of course, I don't know where my good scissors are, so I'm just going to use this small pair of scissors and trim up close to the design. That way I can preserve as much of this HTV as possible. And then you can see that's where I did my little test cut. I think it's always a great idea when you're working with a new product to do a test cut. Not everybody does, but in the long run, I think it's going to save you material. Okay, so I kind of have to hold that down to get that part started. I think maybe next time I would use more pressure as opposed to just the default pressure. At least for this glitter HTV. It's working, but I think it would have been just a little bit better to use more pressure. So I could either pick a different material, I could pick HTV that's glitter, or I could just add more pressure to the Everyday Iron-On. So it's going to be Trojan here for Trojan football. And then here's my little football. And then here's my rhinestone design. So I think that's going to be really nice. Now the way I'll press this is, I've already kind of tested, and I can do this and this at the same temperature. So I'll press these two at the same time. Then after I've done that, I'll change my temperature and I'll do the rhinestones. Now, to me, it's important to go ahead and do your thinnest material first. So you want to do your HTVs first and then your rhinestones. The rhinestones are pretty thick. So if you do those first, and sometimes it makes sense to want to do those first. Let's say this was in rhinestones. You'd probably be tempted to do this first. But since these are thicker, if you do your rhinestones first, then you do your HTV, I don't know that you're getting great pressure against your HTV. So I always like to try to do my HTV first, then my rhinestones. So while I'm waiting for my heat press to heat up, I can go ahead and iron my shirt. I want to do this to get it really nice and smooth, also to remove any excess moisture. Now I always like this collar off the edge of the pad. That way there's not a lot of pressure put on it. So I'm just going to preheat this about 15 seconds. Okay, so I think I have my two HTVs placed nicely. Now the collar on this shirt, it kind of goes at a weird angle. So this is not the best shirt. I haven't really had this issue with these before. I should have been a little more conscientious at the store when I was picking it out, but I'm going to make it work. This is going to be my shirt. I don't think anyone's going to notice that my collar's a little bit off. All right, so I am pressing this at 290 degrees for 15 seconds. All right, now this didn't come with any instructions, and this said to wait till it's cooled off some. But when I was doing my test on this, I was able to peel off this cover sheet when it was hot. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one off. And let me just look and see if this is going to stay down or not. It is. That's staying down just fine. Now, I like to give it just one more pressing just to make sure it's on there really well. Just so I don't melt this, I'm going to put a Teflon sheet over it. And then I'm just going to do this for about 5 seconds, and we'll call that good. All right, so at this point, I need to go ahead and turn up my heat to 350. All right, so while that's heating up, I'll go ahead and get the placement of these stones. So I'm just going to lift my design off the backing. And you know, I think I'm going to let this shirt cool off just a little bit before I put these down. I wouldn't want the glue on the back to start melting. Okay, I think I'm safe now. And then again, just to protect those HTVs, I'm going to use a Teflon sheet again. All right, so I need to let that heat up just about 20 more degrees, and I'm ready to press these on. All right, we're up to temperature, so let's go ahead and do this. Do you like how it turned out? Do you think this could be a good seller? I love it. I just love how it turned out. Now, it's more of a monotone color. It's not really school colors, but I'm going to make more than one option. Now, I like how this went on, and I like how the pattern Caesar went on. Now, I was a little bit nervous when I was pulling the hotfix tape off this that it might stretch this or something, but it really didn't. It came off just fine. So I was glad to see that. So thanks so much for spending time with me and watching my video. And until the next one, bye-bye.